Hey guys, this week while I'm at my conference, you guys are going to be working on an assignment called masks. So the very first thing that you needed to do is you needed to download a picture off the internet of a masquerade mask. I told you that you needed to make sure that it's one that is head kind of facing straight at you, and um, you probably want to choose one that is going to have relatively sharp colors and not something where you're going to have a lot of fading or kind of feathers and things like that, because that's going to make it a lot easier to move. So I have my little mask selected right here. I have it imported. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And so what we're going to do is the very first thing I want us to do is we're going to be practicing with layers. So we're going to go ahead and click on our, obviously comes in as just the background layer. So we're going to go ahead and control right click, add a duplicate layer, and make that the background copy. So now you can go ahead and close the little eye on the actual background layer and make sure that you're just working on the background copy part. Okay, so now that you have the background copy part, we're going to go ahead and choose this. So now I have my entire mask right here, and basically at the end of all of this, we're going to be cutting this mask out and putting it onto a profile pic of yourself. So to do that, we're going to use the magnetic lasso tool. And in our little toolbox on the left-hand side, if you look at there, we have a lasso tool, and then down at the bottom, you can change it to a magnetic lasso tool. So if we click on magnetic lasso tool, you'll see, has a little magnet on it. I can click, and as I click and I'm just moving my mouse around the little eyes of the mask, and I'm going very slowly because basically what it's going to do is it's going to hug those pixels of the eyes, and then I'm going to come back to the beginning, and this is where I'm going to click, and now you'll see that my little eye hole right there is selected. So now that I have that selected, I want to delete it. And some of you, depending on the picture that you get, you might actually have something else show up through here, so might already have like another background layer. So you want to make sure that you go all the way through until you see the little checkered layer in the background. So I have one eye cut out. I'm going to do the same thing with the other eye. I'm just going to start over here, and I'm not clicking anywhere. I'm just moving my mouse very, very slowly around inside the little eye selection, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it in, select it, and then just click delete. And so now I have my eyes cut out, and the last piece I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just cut around the mask itself. Now we're going to go ahead and close out of that. So I'm going to start over here, and again, you want to kind of move very slowly around. If you move your mouse too fast, then it doesn't have a chance to kind of hug all of the pieces. If you ever need to actually have it stop on a specific part, you can just go ahead and click, and it will kind of make a little point right there. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and go around. You guys are going to be a lot more careful than I am while I'm working on this, but I am going to drag this all the way around. And when I get back to my starting point, I click on it, and now you can see that my mask is selected. So once I have my mask selected, what you guys are going to be doing is you need to take a profile picture of yourself. So you can use a profile pic that you might already have. If you have a phone and you feel better taking a selfie on your phone, go ahead and do that, and then just upload it to the computer. You can email it to yourself. If you have an iPhone, you can airdrop it. Don't care, as long as you get it into the computer and get it into Photoshop Elements. For those of you that don't want to take a picture with your phone, or you don't have already a ready-made profile pic, you guys can use the photo booth, which is down here in the bottom, and basically it's going to use the camera on our computers, and it will take a picture of it, of you, and then you're able to use that picture as your profile picture. So now I have my mask selected, and what I also need to do is I need to open up that profile picture in Photoshop Elements. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to go open it up, and you guys might save yours to the desktop. I have an old picture that I have saved right here, and if you guys look down at the bottom, we have this folder called Photo Bin. So now I can see both of my two options right here. Before I actually move my mask over, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on Layers, and I'm going to do another duplicate layer of myself, of my profile pic. So I'm not going to be working off the background. We're going to leave that original as is, and now I'm going to be working off the background copy. And if I look at my, if I go back to my photo bin, and here's my mask. So I have my mask selected, and once you have your mask selected using the lasso tool, you want to go back to our toolbox and use the Move tool, which is the arrow with the little cross hairs right there. And so now what I can do is I can actually just click and just drag this over to the picture that I have of my profile face. Obviously, this is too small of a mask to have on my face, so I'm going to make it bigger. I want you guys to kind of size it up and make it fit or look like it fits on your face. So there's mine. It's not fantastic, but there it is. You can kind of play around with the sizing of it. Again, it depends on what kind of a mask you actually get, of how well it's going to fit on your face when you first put it on there. So once you add that on there and you have it sized and kind of positioned exactly where you want it, you're going to go ahead and click on the little green check mark, and there's that piece. So watch part 2 of this video to see what you're going to be doing for the rest of this masks assignment.